Hello and a warm welcome to Conny Decorates, and of course with heart. And who else is here? With heart, Micha the cameraman. Exactly, lots and lots of heart. And that's actually our topic today. And for the first time in a long while, we're back inside here in our hallway. Our house is relatively small, everything is open. And downstairs here we have a little bench by the stairs. And this is our first Christmas decoration here. It's wonderful here with the lantern packed full of natural elements with branches from the garden. And yes, if you want to know how this theme works, just stay tuned because we're going to show you now. And these are the things we'll need today. For us, it's our hallway decoration for our bench. And here I have some newspaper and burlap fabric. I've taken a large glass jar here. It was on our windowsill for a long time, always with a candle inside. I found these 2 fir trees today. I actually bought them today because I think they go perfectly with this zinc container, but unfortunately this zinc container is broken. That was transport damage. It has a huge dent. And I said, all right, then let's make a video with it. Then here we have the cyclamen. And I also have a bit of barbed wire, definitely. And what else do I have? I have lots of fir branches again, just like in the last video, cut from our garden. I've got false cypress, I've got moss, and I've got cinnamon sticks, and I think we're ready to start. First, I want to completely line the zinc bowl so that we get a bit of height, and for that I'll use our newspaper. Then I'll take a bit of burlap fabric. It was already cut like this, which I always find to be really quite nice. If you gently fray it a little bit more at the sides, it truly gives it that wonderfully rustic and charmingly vintage look, that truly natural and authentic feel. And now I'll place it here in our zinc bowl. You can also do it so that you tuck it in a little here and just let some of it hang out. And I think this look, especially the combination of zinc and this natural material, is just beautiful. I want to keep the cyclamen separate in here. That's why I just took a bowl I had here in our shed. You can also use a plastic container, Tupperware, or whatever you have. And now I've put some expanded clay in there first so we don't get any waterlogging. And actually I'd like to have both cyclamen in there. I'll place them in here and first fill it up with soil. Now I've also got some natural rustic burlap fabric here, which I will carefully wrap around the entire pot so that you don't really see its original surface, and then I'll gently place it back in here. Now I'll check again. The candle, where I think we can strategically place it in the very front here a little later, just so we have a clearer idea of the overall proportions and precisely where everything important should ultimately go within this arrangement. My side, and I'm going to lay it over the burlap just as a bit of extra protection, and I'll just tuck it in here as well. Then I take my floral foam, which I have soaked so it's really nice and saturated with water, and I carefully place it in the back here as well. Before I start arranging things in the back here, I take the cushion moss, which I always love to use, and I think especially for this decoration, it's absolutely perfect. So now I'm going to tuck it in everywhere, including at the front. There's still a bit of packaging left. I'll just put that in at the top here as well, and then the moss can go on top of it. And now I'm going to take a bit of bark before I continue, and I'm going to fix it to the glass here. I'll just use a bit of hot glue and break off. Yes, that's exactly it. I still have some birch bark here. I always have so many birch branches, and I actually think they're really pretty. And now I'm just going to glue a few pieces onto my lantern, along with this beautiful green felt ribbon. Now I'm being a bit careful with the little violets here and placing them down. I think we did that in the forest too. That's where we also decorated with the orange slices, right? And actually, I turn on the light there every day now. I really, really like that. And now I'm just going to wrap it around the glass a couple of times. I think that's pretty cool. It really adds a lovely natural vibe with this green. And I'll just tie it in a knot here at the front, make a knot here, and I'll leave this end a bit longer. And now I'll just, you can also tie 2 knots. I always think that's really cute. You can also do that. That's always really, really good with felt, of course. You can also felt it out a bit more if you want. And now I'll just leave it here in the pot, well, over the pot. Before I continue, I'll just take the remaining bark and stick it in here at the front as well, so that we have it here too. Look, some glue has come off here. I'll just stick that in there again as well. That holds wonderfully too. And here I still have a bit of bark, and I'll just put that between the flowers. Birch twigs, of course, also have to go in, and I'll just put those in the back here now. I just broke a bit off because they're super, super long, and I'll just stick those, right into the floral foam as well. And of course our pine. I really love pine. I don't even know why. I love pine fir, and especially for wreaths and Advent arrangements, I really like using pine. Here is our fir from the terrace, and it also has such wonderful branches. And here too, I'm going to add a few to the back now. And now we've really filled everything up nicely at the back with the fir. And now the big fir tree just goes in the back here. And up here at the front, I've now removed the bark, and I think I'll add a bit of moss there. And the small fir tree goes in the front. I had to go to the front for a moment so I could see how it actually looks. I took out 1 fir tree. It was honestly too much for me, and I think now I've added 2 pine cones in there. And this greenery that we have here now on our lantern, I'd also like to have that greenery here in the pot as well. And now I'm taking this greenery, this jute ribbon, and wrapping it around the pot, and now I'm going to tie a bow here. You can also just make a knot, and then it will be reflected down here as well. And light the candle, and now it can be placed beautifully in the glass. And yes, I really like it. It's also great protection. We have cats, and now we can really just turn it on in the evening without any worries. And it stands in our hallway, and yes, I'm really looking forward to it. That was our decorating idea. Just a simple, well, a zinc container or a planter, a glass, a candle, and a few flowers. And of course, I really hope that today we were able to get you a little bit into the Christmas spirit and give you some inspiration. Dear ones, we would of course be happy if you give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Yes, always, always very happy. And feel free to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. We're always active there as well. And I'll just say, stay healthy, feel hugged. Yours, Conny, and your Micha, your cameraman. Exactly. See you soon, dear ones. Bye.